I want to experience that.
I think that we get a little confused about what motherhood really is about. Is it really about me birthing babies? No. It's about what I have to offer to children that are here who are available to be loved.
Is your motive to be a mother, or is your motive to have a baby? Is your motive to have an emotional relationship as a mother with a child, or to go through the physical experience of giving birth to a baby?
I still have hopes to have a child. I haven't gotten to the place, as many of my friends have, like Michelle, who says that she has reconciled herself to the fact that she won't have children. I'm not there.
At 26, I very much wanted to be married, and I ached to be married and to have children. And at 36, I felt the same way. And at 46, I thought I would lose it. But the emotional part of it has been much more difficult for me. Because I asked God, I said, you're not gonna give me a husband, are you? God said nothing. When I asked him about a church, when I asked him about all these other things, I had the clear understanding. Just ask him.
If he says no, it's just not gonna be good.
If I'm gonna talk about the biological clock, then I must understand who made the clock, who rules the clock, who has the power to turn it on and off.
There was no way that I could have remained as intense about marriage and children. The disappointment would have broken my heart by now. I would encourage you to keep hope alive, but I would also encourage you not to hold so tightly to that it becomes a stronghold. So when I turned 40, I said to God, at 44, I want to be married and I'm having twins. And I announced it to my congregation. And on the day, my birthday, a woman in the congregation brought me 2 little brown chocolate dolls, babies. She said, here are your twins. Well, I wanted to die. And I was so angry. I was so upset with God. I said, I thought you said if I delighted in you, you would give me the desires of my heart. God said to me, I want you to surrender it, everything. And I did. Well, can I tell you that when I surrendered that to God, God started flooding my life first with himself. Now, I thought that I was as full of God as anybody could get, But the reality is I had not even experienced God like I began to experience him when I said, I surrender everything to you. I'm going for broke. I have nothing else to lose. It's been so exciting that one day I looked at God and I said, listen, keep the husband, I'm going to keep you.
I was 42 when I got married.
39.
Just before my 40th birthday.
I think I was 40 or turning 41.
40.
I was 45 years old when I got married.
When I got married, I was 46.
When I was single, I was going through it. All the time, I would be like, you see me in church. How you doing, Sherry? I'm blessed, highly favored. I'm good. See, but I'm mad at the married folks. Who's married here? Yeah, see? I bet you that wasn't in your sermon, Pastor Barnett, what I was going to have to go through being married. I'm mad at y'all. Y'all didn't tell me. Because I'll be all dancing and everything. Then I get home going, Lord, why? Lord, when? And now I'm married. I go, Lord, why?
I was envious of friends who were getting married. It seemed like right and left. And I tell you, there was one year that I was in, it was over a summer. I was in five weddings. Then my other girlfriend called me. It would have been the 6th wedding. I had to tell her no. It did ruin the friendship, but, I was tired of being in weddings. But that summer was a horrible summer for me because I was angry and I was envious and I was upset with God.
I just didn't understand why it was taking so long.
Probably after the 14th time of going through that same scenario again, meeting a guy, becoming hopeful about him expressing the fact that, yes, he's looking for a good relationship, and then you go out or you hear that he's dating someone else. Just the dishonesty, it broke me.
You know, I had issues of insecurity and fear and mistrust.
I'd look around me and I'd say, well, how did she get him? You know, she's looking kind of rough and he's kind of fine. And so, you know, that kind of thinly veiled resentment that you have, that you end up talking about somebody.
We all have issues, wounds, hurts.
But you have to stop looking externally and start looking upward and within to find your happiness and your peace.
I started searching. And asking questions. And one day I said, you know, and I'm supposed to be a Christian too. And exactly what does that mean? I've been in church all my life. You know, I believe in God, but certainly I'm not living like that right now.
I, at one point, just literally was rolling on the floor crying out to the Lord and just saying, you know, Father, if this is not what you want for me, to be married and have children, my clock is ticking, then remove that desire. And at that point was when I had a breakthrough.
And I realized that even though I had been in church all my life, I really was not a Christian. And so I asked Christ to come into my life. And at that point,
I said to the Lord, I've done it enough on my own. Your turn. I met Gary on a blind date.
I met my husband through a mutual friend.
In the gym.
Jerome and I knew each other from church, and he ended up being my secret admirer.
I met my husband through my brother-in-law.
My sister used to date one of Gary's best friends. And the two of them kept saying, we need to pull you two together.
Mutual friend introduced us, Bob's best friend, and he was a good friend of mine as well.
He said he felt in his spirit when he walked up the stairs, he saw me that I was his wife.
He sent a dozen roses to my job, and then for 30 days he wrote poems and letters, and I didn't know who it was from. And then he sent an invitation for me to meet him at dinner, and I walked in, and it was someone I already knew.
A guy I'd known from college who was a newspaper writer, and he called me up late one January and asked if he could interview me, because with Valentine's Day coming up, he wanted to write an article about successful professional single women and how they coped with being alone on Valentine's Day. Started out something like, it's Valentine's Day and Jackie got 3 cards, one from her mother, one from her dog, and one from her best friend. And gotten the most response of any article, any column that he'd written in 10 years.
Wow.
Because so